Perfect.
Yeah. Hello, Mrs. Velasco. How are you?
Hello, Luz. I'm doing just great. I was just reading your review and my assessment. Thank you so much for your information and your input. And I appreciate for the way that you were giving me, coaching me about how to do these activities and the classes and stuff. I noticed that you put in that I was passionate about my work and working with students, that this is a really good class for the students, and that they should be speaking a bit more. And I agree with you. I can I can agree with you on that. I wish the technical issues could be solved, but there is a lot of feedback in the classroom. Like I've mentioned you before, the students, they are fluent. They do, like I tell you, they do a lot of projects like presentations, and they do dialogues. But the format that I use them, I do like Flipgrid. I use Flipgrid for them. I use hanging the voice tags in Padlet. Like I use different ways of having them speaking, because otherwise I cannot be interacting with them. This is something that I have noticed. What do you do about that with your classes? Like, how can you make them be more participative in, like speaking and actually activating their microphone?
Activating the microphone. That's a tricky one. So how many students do you have?
I have in that class, the Spanish
Yeah.
4, there are about 8 students.
8. Yeah. You say you want that day to talk to you, or you want then the day to record? What exactly you want for them to do?
I
Do
want
you
them
want
to
go?
interact more, like to interact more within them in Spanish, but with me also. Because
Yeah.
what they do normally is like, yeah, they work and they're always working. They're hardworking kids, but they're like not very, I think they're shy and they're not very like
Open.
participating or open to dialogue. And I've tried
between them. I think it was a class that you asked the TA to put it in groups, right? Did you try that? Did you try to?
Yes, I have tried. They're from different groups. They're from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So they're not like from the same class.
Yeah.
They're not really used to interacting within them. So it kind of gets tricky in that way. And
Yeah.
the whole school year, because we've been working like that since October, they had a different TA. The TA they had, she was great, and she was working into making them speak more. She was from Chula Vista. So she spoke a bit of Spanish, and it was working very well, but when they changed the TA, it all came like backwards in a way.
Backward. Yeah, that is something that probably you need to start from the beginning of the school year, trying to have more projects and presentations. There's some classes they don't wanna talk between them. And when that happens, you just have to let them be, because the TA would tell you. What I do is like send an email to the TA. We're gonna work in groups. Please put them in groups. Check that they are talking. But I don't know if you have the TA's email, like communicate prior to the activity. So in that way, I tell the TAs that if they can put them in groups. I never put them in groups because I'm not there. Wouldn't be fair. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, if they can put it in group, like today we're gonna do this activity. This activity is gonna be in group. Can be a quiz, can be a like something. So and that is what I do. Like I talk to the TA first. I never go about the TA, because if the TA doesn't cooperate, You are not there. So the TA can say, they don't want to do it, just not to hassle, with the students. But I said, I'm in constant communication with my TAs. Like, okay, we're gonna do this today. We're gonna, can you put them in group? Can you do this? And they will let you know. Oh, this class doesn't want to be in groups. Don't put them in groups. Let them work independently. But in other classes, yes, put it in group. And then I say to them, can you suggest who needs to be with who? I never do it. And I'm constantly checking for understanding. Like, I'm always sending, like, create a poll. No, I'm always sending, okay, let's see. Estoy enviando
Like a poll, like,
like
like these polls that we do in Zoom.
¿Entiendes? Ok, ¿entiendes el proyecto? No, así le pongo sí and no. And then, yeah, if I'm doing a project, if I'm explaining something, I gotta stop. Sí, más o menos. But I don't have any this computer accent mark. So no, pero if I'm doing a project, I'm like sending, ¿entiendes parte 1? ¿Entiendes la parte 1 del proyecto? La parte 1 del proyecto. And then, and I send it. And they love to answer that, like, I send it like that. You see it? Yes.
Okay, so you use the polls from Zoom?
Yeah.
The students are constantly interacting, even though if it's just like multiple option or something small.
But they are reading in Spanish, right? So you are talking in Spanish.
Reading
and they
Spanish,
are like,
everything in Spanish.
Yeah, everything in Spanish because it's Spanish 4. So, and then one day I take them, it's Spanish 4. I mean, they shouldn't be that bad. Maybe they need help with the pronunciation because everybody needs help with the pronunciation. But if you are explaining something, you are like sending these polls. Okay, do you understand the question number 1? And they will answer, There is some question number 2. And like I gave them, and sometimes they say no. They say, why not? And they start like, saying what the project is all about. I made them record outside the class. Like I tell the TA, we're going to take 5 students to record outside the class, 2 students to record outside the class, what the other students are doing this particular activity, then we switch. Because they have a background noises. And the background noises don't help them.
Okay, so when you work with your TA, you have like super good communication with the TA.
Since day 1. And when that didn't happen, because I had a TA that say, no, I'm just a sub. Because some TAs go like, no, I'm just a sub. I'm not going to, I don't even have an email from the school, blah. And that's not going to be a successful program. So I have a sub. He's a cool guy. But since the beginning, I asked him for his personal email. Because he was a sub. He didn't have an email from the school. So I said, well, can you give me the email, your personal email? And he didn't want to give me his personal email. I don't know why. He regrets it. But because of his attitude towards that, the students suffered. Because we would have had like a wonderful year. But on the other hand, I worked for another program. And these TAs were, okay, here's my email. So, oh my goodness, we did wonderful things. So you gotta push for it. You gotta push for it. And so even the principal went and say, yeah, he's just a sub. He doesn't want. So I was like, if the principal says that, he's just a sub. He cannot give you his personal email. So you are done. That's gonna be not a good year because you don't have the TA by your side.
No, you don't have this. Yeah, you don't have the support. Like he's not all like in there with you.
100%. Because he's your eyes in the classroom. he knows better than you who to pair with who, because he's there every day, you know. So, but I have another program that the all TAs gave me his emails, and we coordinate before class, we coordinate after class, and it's a different story, you know. Then later on, in the half of the school year, the person got an email and gave it to me, and it was too late, you know, and just it was too late because it gotta be since the beginning. Please, can you give me your email address? So tomorrow we're going to do this. Please, it's time for you to change the seating chart. You know, you have a seating chart. Seems like it's not working. I want to change the seating chart. And they go like, yeah, okay, you know, is to have them in your side. And then it's time to record. So I want to do this activity with the students. They can record outside, you know, and then you listen it and getting a feedback. I have another way to do it too, but they told me that to wait until we have a professional development. And if you are not part of us for professional development, not to share it until I have a professional development. But if you it's still, even if you don't have part of us, I will share it also with you. But they want to PLI want us to save this idea that I have for the professional development day. But that is what I will do if I for next year be in contact with the TA.
Okay. And
check for understanding.
check for understanding. Yeah, I'm taking notes about this. Another thing is, do you suggest to work with like worksheets in sometimes or not? Like have the TA print out some papers, maybe 2-3 worksheets per unit?
Yeah, if they want to do that, because some schools will tell you they don't have the budget. They are not
Okay.
supposed to print out. That would be too many printouts. So if you talk to the TA, do we have budget for making copies? And they will let you know, no, Spanish classes don't have a budget. Everything needs to be in the computer. So you're done, you know, but try it. Try it.
I've tried with one group. It worked, but it's a different school, not with this one in particular. And the TA that they have, she kind of like, how can I say, she's very independent. So she's like,
Yeah.
I'm using your planning and I'm taking, like, I'm bringing copies or getting copies from this, and I'm having students work on that. But that was the step further that she took. Like, it's not something that I was thinking about. Like, she just knows that I have extra resources because I send them, and she download them and print them, but she works independently. Like, I'll say, I don't have to tell her to do it. Like, she just, like, she knows because it keeps them busy. So she's like, oh, she's going to explain this. Like, she works in a more traditional way. So she's like, oh, your teacher is going to be explaining for the next 25-30 minutes the class. And then she goes and grabs the copies and just hands them to the students and have them work. And if they need help, like one-on-one, we do like small groups, like
Do you like that? Do you like it?
I don't know if it works.
Yeah.
I don't know if
That's
it
good.
works. Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, but do you like that she's like so proactive, or you want that she to wait for you to tell her?
I don't mind that she's proactive. I think that she wants to do her job. It's just that sometimes I feel like she's like, wait, like she's taking too much of the decisions.
Yeah, like she wants to be the teacher. Does she? Like I have that before. I have that before, and PLI is so good supporting you. Like if they know about it, they wouldn't be happy about TA being over the teacher, because the TA had his place. He needs to wait for you to tell her what to do. But sometimes you will find TAs like that. And what are you going to do? Like, you are in the wrong side. You're going to have a very hard time during the school year. So every year I put a pray. I pray, like, go like, okay, please give me a good TA. And this year, finally, I got a
Oh.
good TA because last year I had a teacher like that. Like she was taking over. She wanted to teach the class. So,
Mm.
and that was hard. But PLI was very supportive. He was like, "You are the teacher. She needs to follow the directions and put it in her place. So you want to take it to that level, you could, but at the same time, it's like you lose a friend in the classroom, though. You know,
Exactly. I decided not to like ruffle any feathers because I know that she was doing it out of the goodness of her heart. Like I had to, like let her do her way. And
yeah,
actually, it works. Like she built a very good relationship with the students. That's
that's
the good
good.
part. But the thing is that I couldn't build a relationship with the students because she was meddling too much. That
Mm-hmm.
that was the thing, and it's something that she was very happy working with me. She's like, "Oh, I wish like we work together in the next year." But if we do, like it would have to be a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah. So that is the reason that I don't know how you guys started because this is your first year. And then you are there in front of the cameras, having canvas. That just canvas takes so long to get to know it. So I know that you guys would do things different next year. But the first thing that you need to do is put the TA in your side. That's just number one. And then you just can give her ideas. Like I always want that the students to be all login before the TA is logging in. Have you seen that TA sometimes is the first one to log in and there's no students
Mm-hmm.
and she's the first one, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
I
And so
see that a lot.
I talk to them in the beginning of the school year. Be sure that you walk around, you say, hey, we're gonna have a wonderful school year and blah 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 blah. Write a beautiful email, not too long because Americans don't like, long things. But you tell her, like or tell him, we're gonna have a wonderful school year. This is what I want happening in the classroom. We're gonna be in constant communication with the students. Let me know when we need to post grades because some teachers, some TAs don't let you know when they go like, okay, tomorrow we need to post grades and you need time to grade. Let me know. Let me know the holidays. Let me know. I like to the teeth. Who is
Mm-hmm.
who in the classroom? You are my eyes in the classroom. Without you, this program wouldn't exist. I really need you. Express all your needs and then they will see that you are like, okay, you want this year to be successful, and they will start working with you. So and that is my advice. And when you are putting people in group, you email that TA, say, I would like your suggestion because you are my eyes in the class, and they
Okay.
will help you with that. They know the places normally. But sometimes the students are like sleeping in the classroom, in the phone, doing this and that. So they want to take charge. They don't want that happening in the classroom. And it's not your fault. They're teenagers. We were teenagers too. We were thinking in something else when we were teenagers.
Yes,
It's they're teenagers, that's all. And they have like the parents send them with a toy to school, the cellular phone.
exactly. Some
Yeah.
schools allow for it, some schools don't, right? Like what I've noticed is like middle school, because I have students in middle school, they don't use their cell phones. But in
Yeah,
high school, they do. Like
yeah,
there's less control when it comes to the classroom norms.
yeah, and the kids from middle school are easier to teach
It's great to
than
know
high
that.
school. Oh yeah, the high
Great to
school
know that.
student, the high school students are like, I'm too good to be here. I just want I want high school to be over so that
Too
way I
cool.
can be free.
Too cool
Yeah,
for
I'm too cool.
school.
I'm too cool for school. I shouldn't be here. Who is that person? Why is she teaching me like that? And blah, blah. And when they block themselves, I cannot learn like this. And then, they won't. And it's just, high school is a different ball game. But middle school students, oh my God, they work beautifully. They work so good. And yeah, and you cannot take phones away in high school. They're gonna take phones
Okay.
away in high
So
school.
that's
So
why it's more challenging because I've noticed like the difference. I teach also elementary, and the kids in elementary, like they interact a lot with the teachers. I've noticed that too. Very sweet kids.
very secret. They
And
come
then
with their bottle. They come with a bottle. Yeah, I mean, when we're doing like classes at home, they will bring his little bottle still, and they were paying attention, and then you have these high school students and the phone, like they're wonderful. And I say to them, hey, something I record my middle school kids and my elementary school kids, and I show them to the high school students. Look at how they pay attention. And they go like, wow, like they forgot, how easy it was to teach them when they were younger. But I show them.
it's a personality. They start like it's a personality thing that I notice with the high school students. They're defining themselves, and we have to be a little bit more permissive in a way. But yeah, the cell phone thing is not, it's not a great idea. And
I mean,
each state has their own rules. Each school
a
has their own
school,
as well.
each district. But imagine if our parents would have given us a toy to go to school. We would have never paid attention. Now they have this device and they are not responsible enough to deal with all the information that they get in the cellular phone. It's not your fault. You're doing everything that you can. Even if you were face to face, you cannot take phones away anymore.
There's not much you can do. Yes, I have noticed that.
I
It's
mean,
sad, but
you have to be a clown to compete with a cellular phone. How we can compete with a cellular phone?
too difficult.
Too difficult. Even us as adults, we're attached to our cellular phones. If you forget your cellular phone at home, you turn around your car, come back and look for your cellular phone. So it's a big toy. It's a toy.
Very
That's what it
addictive.
is.
Very addictive.
Yeah.
Especially for kids. Well, Luz,
Let the TA deal with that. What are you talk to the TA? What are the rules about cellular phones? What is your rules? How you gonna handle that? The TA, no food in the classroom, like it's very important. There's some TAs that, like bring the students are having snacks, touching the Chromebooks, but all that needs to be talked to the TA the first week. You cannot talk to the TA in the middle of the school year. It's done. The students study you. They know what they can get away in the class. You are done. So everything have to be in the beginning. And I was telling another teacher that, that first week of class, I don't teach any Spanish at all. That first week, I'm like having near-pod activities about getting to know you. What do you like? How do you learn? Like a week and a half, because you see students that come late, no Spanish that week. I'm like bounding like a chemical bound with my students,
yeah, it's the relationship building stage, and when you're setting the norms and the expectations of the classroom, they need to know what you expect from them, and how is the whole setting going to work, so that way everybody does their part. Like you said, forget about content, just worry about nearpots, worry about creating the culture of the classroom.
Oh, you're gonna have a horrible year. You're gonna have a horrible year. It's better to
Otherwise,
invest 1 week and a half in getting to know your students, but all those activities have a grade. I give them grades, so I pump my students, like, okay, getting to know Nearpad. So you're gonna do this activity. This is if I find your name, logging in at Nearpad, you're getting points today, and I get them points for being there. The following class, I get them points for doing the activity. But the points I get them are post right away. Like, I'm talking to you, I disconnect, I'm posting grades because they need to see that I'm serious about the activity.
That you're
And you will see,
constantly on it.
yeah.
That it doesn't go like, because I think about it, they think what I notice is I share with them, so and so student hasn't turned in their work. I'm still waiting for you guys. So it's not to put them on the spot, it's just to remind them that I am like watching everything they do. Like you said, you go to Nerdpod, you see their names, you see they're uploading answers, they're doing this and that. So it is really important because they think, oh, just because you're far, it doesn't mean that you don't really know what's going on. And sometimes I share like the screen, share like I see these people already answer, but what's happening with the rest of the class? And they're like, oh, she put me on the spot, but they get to work.
Yeah.
So it
I mean,
really
if you like that, I wouldn't do that. I don't like to call the students who are not done with the class, with the work. I don't like to do that. What I do is I give them zeros. I give them zero. And then, like the due date will be today. So when it's today, the computer will give them zeros. If there's past due, they will give them zeros. And I would say, check your grade. But every activity, everything that I do in the class have a grade. And I check your grade. I would say, check your grade. And I will reopen it. And I constantly opening and opening and opening and opening. Constantly, because I get them in the beginning of the school. I mean, when I just started, I wasn't like that. But now that I know this program and I know why it works, so I know that they need to see a grade attached to an activity for them to do it. But I give them zeros. Say, check your grade today. I'm going to open it again. But if you don't do it, you will get zero. Okay. And I open it again.
So you give them chances, but if they
Many.
do not, many chances, like if they do
Many
not
chances.
want to do anything and there's
My
no accountability.
My activities are open 3 weeks, to be honest, but I open it, I close it and open it. I close it and open it. Like
Okay.
I open it for 2 days and they will get zero and they don't like that. I open it for 2 days. Then I open it again, but I get in 4 days to finish. Sometimes they don't need more. But if the activity has been difficult, I will open it again, but that will be it.
Okay. So you give
and
them
then,
like windows of time.
And then after that, gotta be by email. You have to inbox me in Canvas. If you need me to open an activity, inbox me in Canvas and I will open it for you. I say for them, but I open it for all the class because it's harder to just open it for them, for one person,
Okay.
I open it for all the class,
All right.
So, but I give them, you gotta give them many activities, so they're gonna fail, but every single thing that I do have a grade attached, and they get a grade the first day of class. All the names are in Nearpad. I take a picture. Next day, all of them have a grade. The rest that were in there, zero. The following day, everybody's in Nearpad. I don't even have to tell them.
Because they know it counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
but
taking
some
it
teachers,
seriously. It's about taking seriously your job.
Yeah, exactly. But some teachers take so long to grade. The students are like, but you getting like grade tonight, even though we are tired. Sometimes I just don't want to do it. But I put a grade. Next day, I have these students paying attention. But anyway, those are all my advices for this last video. And I wish you the best. If you don't have any more questions, you let me know. And I think we are done with this one, right?
Yes.
Or you have
No.
another question?
No.
All right.
We're gonna pause on this one. Thank you so much.
Yeah.